DK Oldies for the last week or so has been getting absolutely shredded on YouTube. I mean, look at some of these results. We've got DK Scammies, DK Scammed Me, The Truth About DK Oldies Rant, They Hosed Me, Nasty Console. I mean, these are just all of the results. It's becoming almost a trend in retro gaming YouTube to buy something from DK Oldies, open it up, and just rip them a new one. It's like the retro gaming version of the Tide Pod Challenge. Like, if you do it, you can be fairly certain you're going to get a decent number of views. So naturally, being the clout-hungry view monger that I am, here I am to weigh in and give my own opinion, because I would say, and this is a bold statement, I think that DK Oldies may have taken the trophy from GameStop as the single most hated online video game retailer in existence, or at least on YouTube. And not to flex too much on you guys, but I have sold my fair share of video games online, and I know what you're thinking. Yes, it does get me laid. So I thought that I would go ahead and weigh in on the situation myself, give a couple of 2 cents on the matter. Now, from what I understand, there are pretty much two primary gripes that people have with DK Oldies, and that is the condition of their items on one hand and their prices. And more than anything, it's the combination of the two. It's the allegation that they are selling consoles for far above market value on, say, eBay or price charting, and not backing it up with quality. Now, let's go ahead and take a look first at some of the prices that they have on their website. We've got, first off, original NES with the Mario Double Pack. I would say that's probably like $90 or so on eBay plus shipping, so not egregious there. We've got fan favorite. Okay, that's kind of bad. That would probably be more like in the 100 or so range on eBay. I haven't checked recently, and I do most of my selling on Amazon. So that's not like a crazy number for me. I could see myself even getting like maybe $150 minus fees for a solid, complete and original PS2 Slim. We've got a Nintendo 64 with a couple controllers for $184. Probably could get that for like a solid 100 plus shipping on eBay. That's not too bad. $100 for an NES and two third-party controllers is not terrible. You could probably get that for around 50 or so. GameCube is out of stock. So we can see pretty clearly above market prices. Now, where my take as a video game reseller and somebody who often does, like just between you and me, often does sell things for above market value on Amazon because people are just less price sensitive on Amazon. So all that to say, I would be a hypocrite if I cast a stone saying, hey, you should never sell things for above price charting value, because that's a big reason that I sell on Amazon. I'm able to get better prices there. It's true for some other platforms like Walmart that just has less competition. Sometimes you can sell games on there for far above price charting value. So that on its own, I don't really have a huge problem with. If you're providing goods that are such a high quality and giving customers peace of mind and creating repeat buyers, giving people a good experience, I think it's fine if people see enough value in your service to pay more than they would on eBay. When you don't know the seller, you don't really know their intentions, it's a lot easier to get scammed. I think there's a lot to be said for the reputation that you sometimes are buying with a company like DK Oldies that has a full website, they've got a huge inventory, etc., etc. That said, have I ever bought something from DK Oldies? No, you guys know me, I'm incredibly cheap. I pretty much only buy stuff from like vendors at conventions or at thrift stores or pawn shops for way below market value, or sometimes just a little bit below market value, and then I'll flip it on Amazon for a little bit above market value. And guess what? That's how I make a large chunk of my living at this point. So say what you will about that. I'm a scumbag reseller. What I don't agree with is people who say that resellers are artificially inflating the price of games on the market because the more competition there is online, the lower prices will go necessarily. That's just basic economics. But anyways, I digress. Let's talk about the second qualm that people will often have with DK Oldies, which is the condition of the items that they're sending, that they are selling for a premium price. And this is where I will agree with the common presiding opinion on YouTube, that, listen, every item that we send off to Amazon, even the stuff that sells consistently for above like price charting value, say like a Nintendo handheld is one thing that I like to do a lot. Like maybe on eBay, you could get an average Game Boy Advance for $60 and I might sell it for 80 on Amazon. Granted, I'm paying more fees, so I'm probably netting only a little bit more than I would on eBay, but it's easier. I digress again. Somebody please stop me. This is the second channel. I'm ranting about whatever pops into my mind. If I'm going to get a premium for that console on Amazon, that Game Boy Advance, it's only going to be because I'm selling it in very good condition, because Amazon will prioritize that listing, and I have incredible feedback on there. Like I don't send anything out that's subpar, and if I do, I'm gonna list it in acceptable condition. So I think the assumption that people are going into DK Oldies with is that if I'm paying this premium price, it's because the product that they're going to send me is going to be extremely premium condition. And I will give them credit. I've looked at their YouTube channel, and they are clearly much better YouTubers than I am. They've got, look at this, almost going on 1 million subscribers. That's crazy. They do a lot of shorts. And I will give credit also, this guy Joey, who's getting a lot of flack, he's kind of like the face of the company. People are like abusing him in their thumbnails and putting fire over him and stuff like that. I have to be honest, I like Joey. I've never talked to the guy. Almost certainly he doesn't know I exist. But he makes great shorts. I find their shorts pretty satisfying. Is that a hot take? I'm sure some people will find it annoying. A lot of people find me annoying. It's almost impossible to be on YouTube without being called annoying. That's my second hot take of the day. I like the DK Oldies YouTube channel. I just like it. I think the way that they bubble wrap everything and they've got the different camera angles, I appreciate it from an artistic point of view. That said, I also understand if people are buying a PS3 or a Nintendo 64 or an NES for maybe an 50 to 100% markup from the eBay or price charting market value, to get that and realize that it's chipped or it's dirty or it hasn't been cleaned out inside or the controller is nasty or it's got like a third-party AV plug or controller, I definitely understand how that would be frustrating. That said, if they've been able to stay in business for this long, and especially if they've been able to charge these prices for this long, they clearly have built up some sort of a loyal buyer base and community that does enjoy their products and the condition and everything. So I don't know, one thing that you do have to consider when watching these videos is that there is a high incentive for these people to, I don't want to say exaggerate because I'm not assuming that any of these videos are dishonest, but to highlight the more negative aspects because that makes for a more engaging video and people love to dogpile on negativity. I know that as someone who has quite frankly been on the receiving end of that a couple times. So the last thing that I'll say on the DK Oldies subject is, yes, I do believe that if you are charging a premium price, you should be delivering people a premium product, and to not do so is honestly kind of deceptive and it's likely to lead to disappointment. I don't think that's a wise long-term business practice. The other thing that I'd say is, folks, like, even if this stuff does get you riled up, if it does piss you off to see these prices and to see these conditions of consoles that they're selling out, like, just don't go out of your way to spread negativity towards them. It's one thing to have your opinion and to have the freedom to express that online to the world as I'm doing to you guys right now. It's another thing to go into their comments and spread hate to them. And honestly, I see a lot of that. And as a fellow content creator, I just feel bad for them. So don't go spread negativity. And most importantly, if you're upset that now you don't have a good place to spend all your money on video games, well, our Whatnot streams are always open for business.